My ever-enthusiastic participants, we welcome you back again to our event on the G20 and Y20 Summit. To maintain the zeal and jovial spirit of the Lord, let us repeat together the motto of the Yuva Manthan model.
Kindly repeat after me. One earth, one family, one future.
Once again, please, and with energy. One earth, one family, and one future.
Wow, that's the spirit. An applause for you all, please. Bharat National Public School takes pride to announce our chief guest for the day, who is none other than the very talented Miss Palak Kohli. Can we all celebrate her presence by putting her hands together for a majestic round of applause?
Ms. Palak Kohli is an advocate and works as a political consultant. She is the coordination associate at the Y20 Secretariat, where she has been actively involved in research and analysis for the white papers and the website. She has also been aiding the Secretariat in coordination-related events and pre-summits in the run-up to the main Y20 summit.
I would now request our respected Principal Sir and Pashmina Madam to come up on the stage and welcome Ms. Palak Kohli with a bouquet of flowers.
Can we have a huge round of applause, everyone?
Now, I would like to request Palak ma'am to come up on the stage to share a few words.
Good afternoon, delegates and all the teachers. At the very outset, I would like to thank Bharat National Public School for having me here. And apologies for the delay. It was some miscommunication, and I'm so sorry that you had to wait. And but I still hope that your spirits are not affected by it. I am really, really looking forward to what it is that you have to say, what it is that you have to deliberate upon when it comes to this very, very interesting theme of future of work. So I have been working with the Y20 Secretariat for a while now, and in all the events that I've attended, I've realized this one theme is so engaging. It is so interesting to have children think about AI, children think about how the fourth industrial revolution requires the kind of changes, the kind of evolution that we need to know when it comes to the new job market. Because we are the future. We are the stakeholders of the future. There is nobody who's more responsible and who's more affected when it comes to changing technology and the upgradation of the world. So the entire agenda of having a model G20 in your school, or for about 10,000 schools across India, is to have children think, critically analyze, and come up with solutions and ideas of how they think that there should be a proper upskilling and reskilling. So you need to unlearn, you need to reskill and upskill. So that is the idea. So this platform is something that you should genuinely be very thankful for. Because when I was at your age, when we were back in school, we didn't have any clue about anything called G20, let alone having a G20 summit, model G20 summit. So I know this is a competition. I know this is a simulation. But trust me when I say that even when there is a prize distribution, or say, for instance, you don't end up winning something, trust me when I say it, you will still outshine, you will still outsmart, and you will stand out from your peers because you know exactly how the insides of the room of the G20 summit will look like. Because children, you're genuinely so lucky to have that opportunity to think like that, to think as delegates of those 20 nations, and deliberate on this very, very important theme. When I was your age, I didn't know anything like this ever existed, let alone having an opportunity. And children your age right now probably won't realize, but this is genuinely teaching you not just hard skills, but soft skills as well. You will be confident when you speak. You would have done the research by now, so you know exactly what these 20 nations, you will hear from your friends, so you will know exactly what these 20 nations think about this particular theme. What is it that they have to say? What is their country's stance? This is in itself is a very, very fruitful exercise. I am really, really looking forward to what it is that you bring to the table and what it is that I take with me to the Y20 Secretariat from this very prestigious school. And I give the Indian delegation your opinions, your perspectives, because this is what we are here for. I'm here to take your ideas, and I'm going to take it back. So I'm very, very, very excited for what is there in this event. And without further ado, let's just get into this. All the very, very best to you. Thank you for having me. Kudos to your school. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Palak ma'am, for your valuable and motivating words. There is always light if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it. The lamp's light today reminds us of the wisdom passed down through generations. In the spirit of unity and enlightenment, we move ahead by invoking the divine light. I would like Principal Sir, Pashmina ma'am, Philip sir, and Fatima ma'am, and Palak ma'am to join us as we come together symbolically to ignite the flame of knowledge and inspiration.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Thank you so much, our dear guests and teachers, for taking us through the lamp lighting ceremony. After all, nothing can dim the light that shines from within.
It is now time to get prepared and embark on a soul-stirring journey as the middle grade performers are all set to delve into the mystical realm of Sufi classical performance, igniting the divine spark within. Let's welcome them with a huge round of applause.
छोटा तीर जोश के कमान से जा लागे जित लगना, चोरी लिखी है भाग में तेरे, तो क्या सोना क्या जगना।
हो सावाते सुहा रंग सबके नसीब दा,
सावत सुहा रंग नसीब दा, खेले दुख सुख आँख मिचोली हो,
तेरे सुख दुख आँख में चोली।
जी मैं तू जा मैं तू, मेरे सारे जहां में तू। जी मैं तू जा मैं तू, मेरे सारे जहां में तू।
हो सावत सुहा रंग सबके नसीब दा, खेले दुख सुख आँख में चोरी। मेरा मुर्शिद खेले होरी, मेरा मुर्शिद खेले होरी।
यारा रंग है उसका न्यारा, मेरा मुर्शिद खेले होरी।
प्याला चिड़ के अपने करम का, प्याला चिड़ के अपने करम का, रंग दे सब संसारा। मेरा मुर्शिद खेले होरी, मेरा मुर्शिद खेले होरी। प्याला चिड़ के अपने करम का, प्याला चिड़ के अपने करम का, रंग दे सब संसारा हो।
जी मैं तू जा मैं तू, मेरे सारे जहां में तू। जी मैं तू जा मैं तू, मेरे सारे जहां में तू। ओ प्याला छिड़के अपने करम का,
रंग दे सब संसारा। मेरा प्यारा छिड़ के अपने करम का, प्यारा छिड़ के अपने करम का, रंग दे सब संसारा हो।
इश्क का रंग है न्यारा, तेरे इश्क का रंग है न्यारा।
इश्क का रंग है न्यारा, तेरे इश्क का रंग है न्यारा।
मेरे सारे जहां में मेरे सारे जहां में तू।
Whoa! Now that was something, wasn't it, audience?
That was definitely an enchanting one, something that would maintain the spirit of our fellow friends.
Now taking the program further, let's move towards the common meat of the day. We welcome back everyone for the culmination of today's event.
Today, the Sherpa track went on addressing the problems brought on by the technological change in order to reduce the inequality by planning comprehensive strategies.
On the other hand, the finance track focused on addressing youth's needs and concerns to be ready for Industry 4.0, that is innovation and 21st century skill.
Our friends have worked very hard to bring their ideas together and devise meticulous strategies. We all are definitely thrilled to see their aspiration and admire their efforts. So now it's time to begin with the declaration meeting.
Over to the moderators now.
A very warm welcome to our esteemed guests and one and all present here. As you just listened that we had two parallel tracks here, Sherpa track and finance track. We'd like to appreciate all the efforts and the research put in by our delegates. But now, the exclusive meeting of finance and Sherpa tracks are officially over. That leaves us with shortlisted solutions, and we would like to narrow them down further to discuss the ultimate conclusion of our G20 summit. So now we'll begin with the declaration process by first telling the guidelines of how this is going to take place.
If you wish to speak in the declaration meeting, you may raise your placard to add your name to the speakers list as we did in the conclusion round. There are 5 solutions and in each solution, 3 delegates will give their opinions. That is, 3 delegates will give their names in the speakers list. If you are unable to speak, you may just tap your table if you agree with the delegate's opinion. Every solution, again repeating, every solution will only have 3 delegates, and that is it. We will now like to explain the 5 solutions shortlisted by both the tracks. We'll start with the Sherpa track.
Since we all know that technology is the future of the world, therefore, the very first proposal that the Sherpa track has put forward is that to provide awareness to all and provide primary education to all at minimum costs.
And the second proposal that the Sherpa track has proposed is that AI should be included in agriculture sectors. And the third proposal is that AI should be introducing and creating free resources for rural and weaker sections of the society.
So the first proposal from the Sherpa track, can we have that again?
The first proposal was to provide awareness and primary education to all, including the weaker sections of society at minimum costs.
Is it clear to all the delegates? Anyone who wishes to speak may raise their placards now.
Okay, Argentina wants to speak from the finance track.
Delegates, this is the last call. If you're not understanding the solutions, we will repeat once again. The moderator of Sherpa track, can you repeat the solution once again?
Okay, so since we know that technology is the future of the world, therefore, we aim to provide awareness and primary education to all, including the weaker sections of society at minimum costs.
Isn't that already being done? Like, we were supposed to come up with innovative solutions, right?
Delegate, this is the solution that has been suggested by Sherpa track. If you have any feedback upon them, then you may speak that in by giving your name for the speakers list. Okay? Yes, delegate of Germany. Please use the mic.
Hello. Yeah. Can we get 2 minutes to decide, please?
Yeah, no problem. Delegate of Japan.
On the first solution suggested by Sherpa track, which was upon awareness and education system, so my feedback would be you can add the types of ways we can make awareness about for the same at a global level.
Delegate, you can expand upon that in the speakers list. Any delegate who wishes to speak now may give your name for the speakers list. She was giving a feedback, then I suggested that she may give her name for the speakers list to do the same.
If they want to speak, they have to give their names for the speakers list. So right now, what will this be?
They have to raise their placards and we'll just write their names.
If it's not clear, right now you're not supposed to speak. Right now you're just supposed to put forward your placards if you want to add your name to the speakers list, okay?
Okay. The speakers for the first TSL, that is the first solution, China from Sherpa track, Japan from finance, and Argentina for finance. Delegate of China, you may start from Sherpa track.
On the behalf of Shepa Track, I would like to make a point clear on the first solution. By primary education, we mean that awareness and education about AI and technology, so that everybody, even from the weaker section of society, can relate with AI and proceed with the advancement in society. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate of Japan from finance.
I just suggested the first solution, that awareness made, the first solution was to make awareness and work upon the education system. So how you're going to make the awareness on a global level, as we are talking about how solutions can be adopted globally. And secondly, that there was one solution that AI should be provided to weaker sections and the rural areas. So that's a very major solution right now to talk about. So what are the ways, or what are the initiatives, or what the like steps to make AI reach to the rural areas or weaker sections?
Thank you, delegate. Delegate of Argentina from finance track.
I have two questions. I would like to ask first is that in which domain of agriculture would you like to employ AI? And second of all, employing AI in agriculture, wouldn't it result in more unemployment?
Thank you, delegate. We'll now move forward with the second solution. If the moderators from Sherpa track could repeat their second solution.
So the second solution that we have is that AI should be included in the agriculture sector.
Speakers for the second solution may raise their placards. This is UK, right? UK from Sherpa track. India from finance.
Mexico also from Sherpa track.
Okay, Mexico from Sherpa track. That is it. We've got 3 speakers for the second solution. United Kingdom from Sherpa track, you may go on.
So first of all, AI in agriculture will not completely lead to unemployment. It will actually help farmers to make their profits. It will help them to select their crops, to make more profit out of what they are putting out of their efforts. And it will also help to analyze that which crop is a failure, or which crop is producing more. So it will definitely help the farmers, and it is also important that AI should be in at a cost which is affordable by a farmer of a village. So AI will definitely help in agriculture sector, and it will not completely lead to unemployment. It will help the countries as well.
Thank you, delegate. We will now move forward with the delegate of India from finance.
So, a very good afternoon, everybody. As a delegate of India, I would like to put forward this point is that if we say that AI has to be developed in the agricultural sector, so if we see it to the point, it will not be feasible for every farmer to have technology in their yield because we consider farming as the sector which is which is so easy for farmers to do. But once we involve any type of technology, we cannot expect every person to be that fine in technology. Though it may help, but it will not succeed in a good rate.
Thank you, Delegate of India. The next is Delegate of Mexico from Sherpa Track.
Well, the point mentioned by the Indian delegate of financial track, that's where the first solution will take place. The awareness part will be the first solution. So when we provide awareness and education about the AI in farming and many other industries, that's where the farmers will be educated as well. And this will help in AI technology in the farming field. With graphical representation and science, it will help in the profit margins of the farmers and productivity.
Thank you, Delegate. This is it for the second solution. Moving on to the third solution.
So the third solution that we have from the Sherpa track is that AI helps in creating free resources for rural and the weaker sections of the society.
Those who wish to speak may raise their placards. Australia from Sherpa Track.
France also from Sherpa track.
France from Sherpa Track. Anyone from Finance? Japan from Finance. Okay. Australia from Sherpa Track, you may go on.
So the delegate of Australia wants to add in this point that every country providing AI in some rural areas and undeserved areas is not possible because like countries with larger population has very weaker sections and some of the rural areas, and many years would be take to provide AI in that areas, and it is not possible to provide each and every person who is living in rural areas with the AI.
Thank you, Delegate. The next delegate is France from Sherpa Track.
Okay, good morning everyone. So we all know about the inequalities between rich and poor, and the solution taken for this is to access of resources to them. So we are thinking of creating free resource accounts so that poor can also have access to these digital technologies and the inequalities will decrease. And we have also taken up the point of small businesses. So there are only around 12% of the businesses which sell online. So when they will get resources, they will able to sell online and it will increase the productivity of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The next delegate is Japan from Finance Track.
Okay, so if we talk about the rural areas, we talk about those regions of the country which are not that developed usually. So if I say that a rule has, if a country, a low developed country or underdeveloped country passes a law just mentioning upon the agenda that they are focusing upon developing in a 1 year, that's not possible. So I disagree upon the solution supporting that delegate that rural areas just cannot go through the AI. The first major step can be that they can get education policies and frameworks for the same before getting into the AIs. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. The solutions that had been suggested by Sherpa Track are over. Now we'll move on to the shortlisted solutions that had been decided by the Finance Track.
The first solution that was decided from the finance track is integrating 21st century skills in the current education system. These 21st century skills that we are referring to here mean critical thinking and problem solving, etc. We need to integrate them in our education system to bridge a gap between the industrialization and the academics. As we are all aware that the students now find it really tough to compete in the world because the lack of awareness from the education system. So that is the first solution suggested by the finance track. Anyone wishing to speak on this may raise their placards now.
So we have Saudi Arabia from Sherpa track, Germany from finance track, and Canada from finance track. Okay. Saudi Arabia, you may go.
The point I would like to add in this solution is that we do not just need to incorporate these 21st century skills into the education system. We need to ensure that these skills are first incorporated at the earliest, and secondly to all the schools without any discrimination, because if the main sub-theme of the Sherpa track is to reduce the inequalities brought in by technological advancements. If we are providing the 21st century skills, we need to ensure that those are given to all the schools on and all the levels, and not just to the current learners. We need to ensure that the relearning and reskilling also happens. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Now we would like to have the delegate of Germany from the finance track.
Very good afternoon, everyone. So prioritizing critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in schools. There are some key points that I came up with. They were global competitiveness, advancing technological progress, tackling global challenges, and enhancing diplomatic relations. And there were some more I would like to add for, say, meeting industry demands. So if we come up with all these key points, so we can ensure that critical thinking and problem solving and creativity in schools won't be a problem, and we can ensure them in the schools as well as outside the world. Some were like meeting industry demands or cultivating lifelong learners. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Now we would like to give the chance to the delegate of Canada from the finance track.
Thank you for the opportunity given, and yes, I would like to agree with this current solution, and I would agree with the statement given by the delegate, respected delegate of Saudi Arabia, that yes, we need to ensure that it is being actually implemented, what's being in the educational system, and we need to add the pointers into our educational system. We need to revisit what the new 21st century skills are, because in the present education system, I have seen that there are a very basic things, like presently I'm in grade 10th, and there is a chapter of ICT skill which tells us how to start a computer. I don't think that it is a relevant topic for a 10th grader. So we need to upgrade the level to a really new higher level, so that the current student can now relate with the topic, and that they can actually know, they can actually relate with the studies. This will help in another way of getting a more interest into the IT sector. So yes, I think it should be implemented on a higher grade. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. So that was it for the first solution. The second solution that we have from the finance track is increasing funding for entrepreneurship and startups to tackle unemployment, to move really rapidly towards Industry 4.0. Is it clear? Okay. Oh, should I repeat? Okay. Increasing funding for entrepreneurship and startups to tackle unemployment, moving rapidly towards Industry 4.0. The delegates wishing to speak may raise their placards now.
We have Australia from the finance track. We have India from the finance track. We have Italy, Japan, and Canada from the finance track.
So Australia from finance track, you may speak now.
So I think increasing funding in economic growth in startups and entrepreneurship will stimulate our economic growth and job creation. By funding, they can expand their operations, hire more employees, and stimulate economic growth in their region. It will also lead to many technological advancements and solve global challenges such as healthcare facilities and poverty. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate from India, you may speak now.
So I would like to agree upon what the delegate of Australia said from finance track. As before we lead to something bigger, we should work on what is on the smaller platforms. Then only we can have a bigger goal in our hands, and that is what we are trying to say from the solution, that if we directly reach to the industrialization, it will lead to nowhere, because the people with the small entrepreneurs will have nothing to do if industrialization takes place. So we should first fund for the entrepreneurs who are just coming into the industry for the very first time. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate from Italy, you may speak now.
Funding startups and entrepreneurs working on upcoming AI technology can offer numerous benefits, such as innovation and technological advancements, economic growth and job creations, solving complex problems, increasing employment amongst the rural sectors, and many other.
Thank you, delegate.
The moderators have listened to your esteemed opinions, and now we will move forward to the voting in all the 5 solutions to shortlist 3 solutions as a part of the G20 summit. The voting procedure is the same. If you agree with the solution, please raise your placard and we will note it. A delegate can vote for 2 solutions at max. That is it. If you have any doubts, you may approach the moderators right now. If everyone is ready for voting, we'll proceed with it now. If the delegates need 2 minutes to decide, that is also okay. Okay. We are giving 2 minutes for the delegates to deliberate. Please maintain decorum, delegates. Each delegate can vote upon 2 solutions. Delegates, 2 minutes are over. We have a suggestion for Sherpa track. Anyone who is willing to take up and explain it may go ahead.
So here we have a suggestion. What if we combine or club the solution given by the Sherpa track and the finance track? The first solution, primary education and 21st century skills. As we all know, our education and learning begins in the school only. So what if we start primary education and integrating 21st century skills in the school only? This will not only help children with their book learning, but also learn life lessons as well. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. What the finance track thinks of it?
We agree with the opinion.
Are the delegates of the Sherpa track and finance track agree with the suggestion? Are we ready to compile our solutions? Thank you, delegates. Delegates, give us 1 minute, then we'll go on with the voting. The first solutions of the Sherpa track and the finance track have been compiled and will be referred to as the first solution overall. Now we will go on towards the voting. The first solution that had been suggested by finance and Sherpa track and now have been compiled is the integration of 21st century skills and more such skills into the current education system and making the current education system more relevant for the upcoming youth and helping them reskill and upskill. Those who are in favor of this solution may raise their placards. I think we have all the delegates, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So the first solution has all the delegates in agreement. Now we'll move on with the second solution of Sherpa track.
The second solution, which was suggested by the Sherpa track, was that AI should be included in the agriculture sector.
Those who agree with the solution may raise their placards. We have no delegates for the second solution. I am repeating again, those who agree with the second solution that AI should be integrated in agriculture may raise their hands. Okay, we'll move forward. Next solution from the Sherpa track.
The third solution was to create and provide resources to the weaker sections of society.
Those
Delegates?
in agreement? Those in agreement raise their placards. Delegates, it's okay if you agree with the solution even if you are in different tracks. We are working together as a committee to come upon common solutions to help the cause.
So the
Okay.
entire Sherpa track, no one from finance track.
Okay, it's okay. The entire Sherpa track, am I correct?
Yeah.
I think one delegate is not voting. You are delegate of Saudi Arabia. Now we will come to the last solution that had been suggested by the finance track.
That is, again, increasing funding for entrepreneurship and startups to tackle unemployment to move rapidly towards Industry 4.0. Oh my God. Okay, it seems we have a majority now.
Entire Sherpa track and the delegates from, sorry, the entire finance track and the delegate of Saudi Arabia and Russia from Sherpa track. Thank you, delegates, for the voting. We request to give us 1 minute to inculcate the votes and we'll come up with the solution. Delegates, we have calculated the results and the solutions that have been shortlisted upon. First is the solution that had been compiled by Sherpa Track and Finance Track, that is inculcating 21st century skills in the current education system and making it more relevant for the upcoming youth, and reskilling and upskilling people who have already gone through the education system.
And the last solution, the second solution that we have is increasing funding for employment and entrepreneurship and startups to tackle unemployment and generating employment, moving rapidly towards Industry 4.0.
We will work upon the draft resolutions and present it to all the delegates in form of a communique and make sure that it goes to the working committee. Thank you, delegates, for your initiative, for your hard work, your devotion. It was a thrilling experience as a moderator to listen to all of you. Thank you.
Now, we want to take this opportunity to appreciate the ardent interest and remarkable performances of our delegates.
The students today will be rewarded with the Best Delegate in Sherpa Award, the Best Delegate in Finance Award, the Commendation Award, and the Best Speaker Award. But before that, we would like to invite everyone from the participants and moderators to share something.
We would like to invite anyone from the tracks to share their experience.
Anyone can raise their hands, anyone from the tracks or the moderators.
Yes, you may come.
I would also encourage delegates from the Sherpa track, as they are in 11th grade and this was something new to them. If you could go up and share your experience, it would mean a lot to us.
Please give a huge round of applause for Ashri and Akriti.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone, myself Ashvi Pamar. So this was my first experience in this kind of summit, and I have participated in like public speaking a few times, but this was the very first time when I was in opposition of some opinions, and I was trying my best to prove my point, and I was very clear with what I was saying in the entire summit, and this was really a great experience, and I am thankful to all the teachers who and all of the committee which have given the opportunity to all the students to come out and speak what they are capable of and what they think of. So thank you so much.
So, a very good afternoon, everybody. This experience was a first-time experience for me, like sitting in a G20 model of G20 summit, and it was the best. Like, I could see how we all were communicating, how we all were one in a track, because generally what I've seen is that people in a same track have different opinions. But for me, especially in the finance track, everybody was one. Even in the voting, we saw that everybody was one in their opinions and solutions, and that was the best. Earlier, I was not to be the part of this G20, but today I feel lucky that I was and I am the part of G20. I hope to look more events like this in BNPS. Thank you.
Once again, greeting all of the people here. I just want to say that it was my first time doing anything like an MUN model. So I was kind of excited for this. And more than the excitement of getting a prize or winning something, I tried to look forward if I can learn something, because it was my first time doing such a thing when I have to be competitive with many people in one row. So I planned to go in MUNs, but I thought that going in the school level first, I would know how the flow goes, how we have to interact with other delegates, like the proper process and the proper meeting that we will go through. It was a really good opportunity to do that. And I just thank Principal Sir and all the other people who have organized this for us. Thank you for that. And yes, I would agree with what Akriti Di said to us. So thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Now, we would love if Principal Sir would also say a few words about today's event. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much for giving us this kind of experience here. While I was sitting here, one thing which was coming to my mind offhand was one of the interviews which I've heard of Bill Gates, where he stated that he reads news magazines, the news weekly magazines, every week, and he reads it from cover to cover. And when asked why he is doing so, he said, if I am reading magazines only about computer sciences, then I will be the same person what I started off with. I read variety of material. I read all the material I can catch hold of. Because if I don't go in those kind of territories, I won't be able to change myself as a person. This is what the fundamental principle of participating and working on different kind of territories is all about. It's not about what we are doing. It's also about what the work is doing on us. So what we make an impact while contributing, the work in itself contribute in our personality also as a person. So what I was fascinated was seeing so many different countries out there, from Italy to Mexico to France. No, France was not there because that's something, we have it, okay. So lot of such countries which are coming together, sharing your opinions, and we could understand that also. While I was seeing you morning discussing all these things, yes, the focus is on research. You have to find more things about that country to be able to be comfortable about that knowledge. It is a beginning. I tell you, it's only a beginning, because when we are talking about these solutions and when we are interjecting with each other also, it's not that we read and reproduce. We have to make connections. There were certain things which we were discussing. In terms of processes, if I tell you, at that level of process, this goes pretty well. You are dressed up so nicely. You are in that formal attire. You're speaking well. You have a system, placards, very beautifully done by moderators also throughout the day. That's I've been seeing. What Nishi has contributed into building this kind of aura around us is very, very formal. It's very nice. So at a process level, personally, I was very happy looking at all of you being very, very methodical into what you're doing. You know the protocols. You know how to speak, when to speak, how much to speak. The only thing I would say going further is that the content, what we are talking about, has to be backed with some kind of knowledge, understanding about things. So at certain times, I felt when we are talking about solutions, the solutions are quite similar in nature. When we are talking about AI in rural field, or talking about AI to downtrodden people, the people who are deprived communities. For me, that was one cluster. That was one thing. So there was no contradiction in the solutions per se. If those solutions have come up, they seem to be a repetition of things. So when we are choosing solutions, my understanding is there should be a scope for discussion for countering each other. So one part also which I believe is when we are talking about these things in depth, then it's not about my point or your point. When any point comes of substance, we need to appreciate, we need to admire, we need to incorporate that in our argument to be able to give a better picture now, to be able to reach to better solution. Because at the end of the day, our purpose is to find a better solution for the community we are representing here. So, understandably, very first time, but yes, we need to bring in more depth into our conversation to be able to counter and give each other point of views. When we are talking about AI in agriculture, I could also see we are restricted to whether it will be scalable, whether it will be reachable to all the communities. But it's a very different thing. It's very, very contradictory, in fact. AI does not have that problem of reaching out to people. You can have people using AI for a larger community of people. It's a very different kind of problem which comes through AI. It's about redundance of human resources, which could be a problem for our country. Because AI can eat away many jobs out here. But reaching to AI in rural economies is not that difficult, I tell you. One different app can bring about a lot of change. There's a lot of technological penetration, of course. But when we are talking about if we can state some data, if we can state some facts, if we can substantiate with some kind of data also, I think that also would be more satisfying for us as an audience to see whether we are reaching at the right conclusion or not. So the solution could not be only my emotional attachment with the solution or my perception about it. It should also be substantiated by some numbers. So what I felt, probably, I don't know, I heard quite a few in the morning also. You were quoting some numbers about your own countries, but while talking about solutions, I could not hear about numbers. If we can have numbers, of course, that will add a cherry on the cake also. We are so much associated with the content of ours, of our argument, but can we also substantiate with that? But having said that, I would greatly, greatly appreciate this endeavor. I see and I can resonate with what you spoke about your experiences also, all three of you. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity where you get a play field. And if you play well, then you learn a lot out of these experiences. And as ma'am rightly said in the beginning of it also, it's not about picking only the best speakers. For us, you're all winners. A big hand for all of you also. You did beautifully. So it's very difficult. I was just wondering while sitting there, when we have to choose or pick few students out of many who are brilliant, the problem comes of this picking the best out of the best. So out of these solutions also, I was seeing ultimately once we churn things, we still have to reach to a decision, because no decision is also a decision. So, but reaching to a decision, when we are seeing that and you have majority of people deciding upon certain things, has to be respected. And similarly, when we are churning this thing, and I'm sure you're getting some rewards or recognition, we have this here, right? So this is for not only those people who are actually going to receive the rewards, but also for those people who have been pushing them to do better. You know that, that principle they say, if somebody is coming first, then the player who is at number 2 is also instrumental in helping that person to become number 1, because that is the person who is pushing him constantly. So any reward which is given to number 1 is a reward for all those who are pushing him or her to reach at that pinnacle. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fatima ma'am, for organizing it so well. I think the children start giving credit to me, but I know how much of hard work you put in. Actually, of course, Harleen being a partner in all good and bad. So yeah, you both, the way you have all put it all together. Nishi for always helping us realize the dream we think about children, giving them that kind of opportunity and All these opportunities, you put your heart and soul into it, and entire fraternity. I'm maybe missing out on few people, but thank you so much. It was a wonderful experience. Enjoyed it a lot. Thank you so much. And to both of you also. And the dances also. Very beautiful dances. I must appreciate that. Moderators also been outstanding. Very well done.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words were truly inspiring. So now let's begin with the felicitation ceremony. Are you all excited for the results? I can't hear you. Are you all excited? So now, for the Best Delegate Award, I would like to invite Ashvi from Sherpa Track. Give her a huge round of applause, everyone. To present the award, I would like to request Principal Sir and Pashmina Ma'am to come up on the stage. A huge round of applause, everyone.
Okay, before handing over all the certificates, I would like the chief guest to speak something, to give some critical feedback to you guys, and she was actually appreciating you all guys, so please.
Delegates, I was just talking to Pashmina ma'am, and I really need to give this feedback. It's a very positive feedback. You are the only school which has reached the point of delegation meeting, the point where you... We've had multiple Y20 Yuva Manthan model summits by now, the G20 summits. You are the only school where you were prepared enough with solutions. You knew the voting process. You knew how to go about it, like Sir just mentioned. You knew the protocol. That kind of a decorum is something that students your age are ignorant about if they're not given this opportunity. So congratulations on that. You are the only school. That's one thing. The second thing, I was waiting for a mention on startups because that is very relevant to the youth of today. I'm so glad there was a majority on that because this theme entails catalyzing the startup system. Why we mean catalyzing the startup system? We as a country, we are a developing nation, but we might just overpower all of those developed nations very soon. We need to train our youth in a way that we do not need any outside help. If there's any help we need, we have our youth equipped and skilled enough that we have a startup for it. If there's anything new, the youth, like we had a majority in having AI in the school curriculum, I related those things immediately. If we train our students and have that in their education system, we prepare them and we eventually create an environment where they are equipped enough to probably think critically and have they have the ability to create that particular startup for things that the country might need in the future. So that is when it comes to reskilling and upskilling the youth. That's one thing. The second thing that I was just thinking when you mentioned about, there was no mention of gig economy. I don't know how many of you know about it. Gig economy is a very upcoming thing that's very prevalent these days. So gig economies are short-term contracts. So people, because they are skilled in a particular thing, those skills don't require them to be on a long-term contract. So they do not have necessarily to be salaried employees in a company. They can just be hired for a purpose. Say, for instance, someone who can be an AI teacher, for instance. So we can have someone who can, who's excelling at it. So say ChatGPT, for instance. So if there's someone who knows exactly how to give the right prompts to ChatGPT, that person has the power to eat away most jobs than ChatGPT itself. So what I mean to say when I say gig economy and I say upskilling and I say unlearning is this is a very unconventional sort of a job. So someone who's teaching how to use AI is a newer job in the market than just doctors, engineers, and lawyers. So this is what I mean to say when I say it's the future. So if you are teaching your students and you give them this outlook, if you view the world and if you view the job market with that sort of a lens, there is a pool and plethora of opportunities that you can't even fathom at this point. I am so happy after having read about this particular theme. I really hope you start to look at your future, at the job market and your employability options in a very, very different manner. Because trust me, there is no place for the conventional engineers anymore or lawyers anymore. This is a lawyer speaking to you. I swear it is going to take up our jobs very soon. So congratulations on concluding a very, very well done, very beautifully conducted event. The dance, I need to give it a special mention. It was beautiful. I was a Bharatanatyam dancer myself. These girls did Kathak. They were beautiful. It was beautiful. Congratulations to all the delegates. Irrespective of whether you win a prize or not, you're all winners. You all will outshine, you all will outsmart your peers because you've had an experience which is very immersive, which will also give you an opportunity to look at the world from a different lens. Trust me, if not now, you will realize it later. But yes, you are achievers, you have it in you, you are the country's pride. Please take it forward from here on. The baton is with you. Congratulations and all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words were truly remarkable. Now I would like to invite Ashvi for the Best Delegate Award from Sherpa Track. And I would also request Principal Sir, Pashmina ma'am and Palak ma'am to felicitate her. A huge round of applause for them, everyone. All right, so I would like to request our teachers to stay here for the next awards. Now moving on to the finance track. Any guesses who is the winner? For the Best Delegate Award, I would like to invite Hitanshi from finance track. A huge round of applause, everyone. And I would also like to mention that Hitanshi is the youngest in the entire group. All right, now moving on to the next category, I would like to invite Shivi for the Best Speaker Award from Sherpa Track. A huge round of applause, everyone. All right, now moving on to the finance track, all right. So I see a tie here in the finance track. So for the Best Speaker Award, I would like to invite Akriti and Bhavya from the finance track. The applause shouldn't be stopping. Now moving on to the next category, the High Commendation Award. For the High Commendation Award, I would like to invite Fauna from Sherpa Track.
Give her a huge round of applause, everyone.
A huge round of applause. And now for the next award from the finance track. Any guesses who could be the winner? It's none other than Keshvi from finance track. Kashvi. A mighty applause for all of our deserving candidates. Let their exuberant selves shine forevermore and their light never dim. Congratulations once more.
Now, I would like to thank all our worthy participants and moderators for their presence and contribution in the event today. And I would also like them to felicitate. I would like to call Fatima ma'am, Philip sir, Principal sir and Pashmina ma'am on the stage to felicitate the moderators first. And I would like to call Simi Advani from 12th C, Hardik Balani from 12th C, Pariniti Singh from 12th A, and Yash Arora from 12th D. Give them a huge round of applause.
We're sorry, it's Parinita.
Please give them a huge round of applause once again. Teachers, please stay back for a few more awards. Now, to felicitate the participants, I would like to call the Sherpa track. I would like to call Yug Pawar, Russia, Manthan, Australia, Manaswini, Indonesia, Stuti, Italy, Anushka, China, Shivi, Saudi Arabia, Fauna, France, Ashvi, UK, Sachi, India, Arnav, South Korea, Bharat, Mexico, and Ridha, Japan. Please give them a huge round of applause.
Give them a huge round of applause, everyone. Now, moving on to the hardworking participants of the finance track, I would like to invite Rashi Lohia, representing Australia, Unnati Jain, Turkey, Yagya, Mexico, Kashvi, Argentina, Hitanshi, Canada, Tanya, Japan, Delza, representing Italy, Kriti, South Africa, Dhwani, USA, Athav, Indonesia, Arpan, France, Vivan, representing Germany, Akriti, representing India, Bhavya, representing Russia, Vedansh, representing China, and finally, Devansh, representing UK. I would also like to request Nishi ma'am to join them all. Give them a huge round of applause, everybody.
So now, to conclude this event, I would like to call any of the moderators to share their experience and sum up the event.
Please welcome them with a huge round of applause.
So now, I would like to invite any of the moderators to share their experience and sum up the event.
I'm not going to take a lot of your time as it is dispersal. I thought it would be hard for me because I usually like to compete. I thought it would be hard for me to sit there and listen. But I have never felt more proud of anyone. And the messages I got during the preparation of the event, to see how much devotion, how much effort you put in, to me, each and every one of you is a winner, and I wish that you win over people like me all the time. I wish you bright futures. Thank you.
Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success.
Stay curious, keep learning, and keep growing. Strive always to be more interested than interesting. Let's end this event with a tribute to the youth here, because I am enough and I can. Kindly repeat after me. I think. I question. I design. I create. I struggle. I collaborate. I try. I solve. I invent. I reflect. But most importantly, I learn.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank Palak Kohli ma'am for gracing this day with her presence. Our lovely jury members, all the delegates, all the teachers who helped us hold this event, and most importantly, Principal Sir and Pashmina ma'am for guiding us and supporting us. Please appreciate them with a huge round of applause. Thank you so much. I would like to request grade 12 to disperse first.